The spread of aquatic invasive species has many throughout the state of Minnesota worried. And for those depending on the lakes for their livelihood, the concern is even greater. But as Lacey Monteleone shows us, resort owners may not have as big of an impact on the lakes as they would like.
For local resort owners, the lakes are not just a place to have fun.
This is our livelihood out there.
Fusi, who helps represent resort owners in meetings with the DNR, says one of the biggest threats to that livelihood is the spread of invasive species.
If that water quality ain't there, or the AIS gets in there and affects the fishing.
Resort owners are required to receive AIS training.
If you rent docks or you rent boats, then you need to be certified and shown the correct way to pull them out of the water, store them, and put them back in the water.
He says the training portion is pretty simple.
We already deal with the lake, and so we already know so much of the issues.
While resort owners say they like taking the opportunity to educate their guests about AIS, they argue they're not doing most of the spreading since their boats are not moving from lake to lake.
They typically go in the water in the spring and come out in the fall and go in storage and back in again in the spring.
Public access points are the biggest problem areas and the more difficult areas to police.
I believe the biggest factor is going to be the boaters that are coming into our lakes, coming and visiting us from whether it be southern Minnesota or Illinois or anywhere else.
But despite the added hoops to jump through, resort owners say they hope their training can at least help educate others.
We're all more concerned about it than anybody else.
Lacey Monteleone, Lakeland News.
A change to an earlier law will no longer require employees of businesses that work with boats that remain on the same body of water to take an online training course.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.